Hi there, welcome back to Natural Light Edmonton's YouTube channel. My name is Trevor and I'm here with Andrew, and Andrew is the owner of Natural Light, and he is a certified gemstone installer in the Edmonton area. And today we're just going to be talking about, how the season wrapped up. We're just ending the Christmas season. How busy were you during December?
The busy to the point where people could notice it on my face busy. So I was doing all I could to get as many people, as many customers their lights up before Christmas. So literally working right up to the last moment and late nights. So
So he's doing installing the lights, doing quotes, getting all the stuff done, and he's just a one-man show. I mean, did you have any help at all?
not this year. No, not today. So maybe this coming year we'll try and add a crew to the business. So
Add a crew, so we have more people that can go out there and install some more lights. More responsibility that you'll have coming up next year, but that's okay. We don't mind doing that. What are some fun things were there any like fun projects that you worked on, or were you just finished off and it was just like, man, that was such a cool job. I like how that turned out.
A number of jobs. I really love, actually, as odd as it seems, some of the harder jobs to do where I have to actually do some odd kind of climbing on weird roofs and high pitches and ladders in odd places. I actually enjoy it as long as it's super safe. I still might not seem safe to other people, but there's a sense of real accomplishment putting lights in spots that people are pretty impressed that I managed to get to. So one place in particular, I actually had to buy a very specific set of ladders to I think I had 3 different ladder sets all kind of connected to get to this peak of a cabin out in Alberta Beach. And so that felt pretty good to get that cabin, that nice log cabin with a metal roof and some pretty cool looking lights on it.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was a pretty sweet job. Quite enjoyed that.
Awesome. I noticed like just in our neighborhood, there's different types of lights. Like other people have, I'm not sure if they're Gemstone or if there's some other brand, but the decorative trim lighting that you install, and some look like they're put closer to the house, so it almost look like there's the lights are scalloped on the side of the house. Is that a technique that people use, or is that just for install? Or
I'd hate to call it poor install, because I guess at the end of the day, people can essentially do what they want with their lights. So that would typically be done by a homeowner, from my experience. With Gemstone, our standard is to put the lights on the outside of the soffit. It's kind of like the outer edge where the soffit meets the fascia, and that just provides more of a individual kind of bulb, and like really accents the trim more, as opposed to like lighting up the siding of the house.
Right.
The goal isn't really to light up the siding in particular as much as accent the trims and turn curves and stuff like that. So, and then I also find, like you mentioned, when you do that, when you put the bulbs closer to the house, you get the kind of like the pot light look on the side of the house, which, I mean, I guess again, each to his own. Some people like but I think generally the effect doesn't really give. I think if you like that, it's fine. But I think typically you get more out of it being closer to the edge of the soffit, more, like I said, more accent to the actual turns and peaks and valleys of the home. So that would be why I would say mostly why we do it. It's just I think it does give a general better appeal to those.
Right.
What we're trying to accent.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense to me, because only reason I did it because there was 2 houses that did it side by side, and I'm like, those look different for some reason. It almost looked like they had installed like lights like this, like it looked like that on the house, like scallops. Almost.
Yeah.
I was like, that's different. But then I was looking at it going, all they did was the trim is closer to the house, so it looks like there's some kind of a pattern that they've put onto the house because of it. It wasn't that at all. It just looked like that, and I thought, I don't know if that was intentional or if it's just
and I think like I said, I think often my experience mostly it is an individual homeowner, and maybe they don't understand what that's actually going to look like versus having it further out. It probably seems almost more natural to put it if you're going underneath up against the house as opposed to away. And then even just for mounting purposes, depending how it's mounted, I think that's also a part of it too, is if it's like, if they don't have the, like we have a track that sits inside, it's called a hat track. It sits like in the overhang of the fascia and then screws to the soffit. If you don't have that, then you might be limited to how you're mounting, and then it might seem odd to mount it right to the front. Maybe it's more noticeable if it's not in the track.
Sure.
You start to see each kind of bulb or whatever it is stick out, whereas the whole point of our track is it really hides it when it's not on, right? So
yeah,
I could see that being part of the way. Sometimes people may mount it closer to the house too.
Okay.
But, yeah.
All right. Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
So when it comes to getting your stuff, this time of year was the busiest time. So November, December was crazy. Now we're coming into January, and the cold weather is starting right now.
Yeah.
Like we're starting into minus 20, supposed to be getting down to minus 30s.
Okay.
That's what I hear. I'm not looking forward to it.
We do live in Edmonton, so
we do live in Edmonton.
There you go.
Yeah. And so right now is the time for people to get quotes, right? You can get a quote, you can go and measure the house and do all that kind of stuff, but you don't really want to be out working in this because that's when things turn black and fall off.
Yeah.
The weather. So
to be honest, the drills don't even really want to. Nothing wants to. I mean, people's vehicles don't even want to start. So smaller things like drills and stuff, real hard time. I mean, right now, to be honest, it's kind of nice because I was working so hard for, like, you know, when you're saying November, December was busy. November, December were busy. They were booked already from like September, October. So, you know, it really does go quick. You know, you're booking off, and especially in the busy time, like months in advance. And so, even now, like it's, like quite a few people still, because it is still kind of that winter season. I think people still kind of have the Christmas lighting on the mind, even though Christmas is gone now. But it's a good time to do quotes, and still doing some installs, but I can be a little pickier about my days. It's not the same deadline for Christmas. So, and people are pretty good with it.
Don't have that looming date coming up.
Most people are actually telling me they don't want me to show up once it's past minus 20, 25. So,
that's pretty cold. You know, we wouldn't want you to, have problems with issues with your vehicle, which I know you had some this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Or your tools, or just frostbite. Like it's a real thing.
That is a real thing.
It is a real thing, and it's not fun.
Yeah,
I've never really had bad frostbite. I've gotten cold before, but not really bad frostbite. So where things turn black and fall.
Yeah, I was actually about to reach in my pocket, but I already had doing quotes this morning. I had those hand warmers in my pockets, but they're in my other jacket. But yeah, even for quotes, your hands get pretty cold. Minus 20, 25. I sometimes don't even realize it at first. And then my pen doesn't work. And the next thing I know, my hands are really cold. So I'm sitting in my truck for 5 minutes warming up, even in the middle of a quote. So but
that's how
it's worth it. It's good.
So some exciting things. People are starting to ask you about landscape lighting.
Yeah. It's I've done a few different jobs for landscape lighting, in particular some decks as well. So we do we have like floodlights for trees. And then they have like a kind of a, I don't even know exactly what you would call it for deck lighting. It's a bulb, and then it's got a sleeve on top that goes into the deck. I'm not even sure if there's a particular name for that exactly, but accent lighting for a deck. Yeah. And so that all runs off the same system as well. So your unlimited amounts of colors and patterns and things you can do with it.
And this is from Gemstone.
And that's from Gemstone. Yeah. So, and then, looking at the idea of some more products for some landscape lighting, and just create a whole array from the yard to the house of light. And
lighting is
pretty cool.
Lighting is one of those things that it just adds another depth of style and warmth, and really accents the yard and accents your home, makes it feel more inviting. Provides a richer atmosphere for it, because anytime you go to a nice restaurant, or you go to a building, a hotel, there's always lights all over the place. You don't really pay attention to them, but you know that they're there. If they weren't there, you'd be like, man, this place is bleak and dark.
Very either. And there are some restaurants supposedly that do that where it's like black, but that's a very particular experience. But it still accents actually the importance of light or the experience. In that case, the experience is lack of light.
No light.
Yeah. No, it's so true. Like everything I think even when you think of like even inside a home, the main particular area where you see light is actually in the kitchen. Like a kitchen is usually the kind of the feature of a home. And you have like, a lot of kitchens, it's no longer just the like one center kitchen light anymore. It's like under cabinet lighting, in cabinet lighting, all these things, track lights. And really what lighting does provide in every scenario is you tend to light up the areas that you like of your home more. You tend to darken the ones that you probably don't want to see as much. Hence the closets tend to be darker. But it is really true. It really adds. Light does, whether it's even a dim light, and the goal is just to kind of like throw a little, like a slight accent over here and over here, and draw a little bit of attention, not necessarily a massive spotlight to everything. It's not always about making everything as bright and, fireworks as possible, but lighting really does just add to the appeal of a home and in every way, inside and out. So
that's exciting to start going down that path. I love lighting and all things about it. I think it's cool. So that's something new that's coming out hopefully this summer. And then the other part of it is getting help to actually do all these things. Because I'm sure you don't want to, you don't mind working hard, but I'm sure you don't want to do a repeat of what you did this last season.
Yeah, for sure. No, my goal is definitely to hire some good quality help. Again, the main thing is just to keep the quality at the highest standard. And so that's what I'll be looking for in the future, is just finding some good help and making sure we maintain the highest level of quality and making people happy. So,
all right. So Edmonton and area, if you're looking for accent lighting for your house, this is the guy to talk to. Go to my-naturallight.com and fill out the form. And you can also call the number there and you'll get a hold of this guy and he'll come to your house and do a quote and get your house situated for some amazing gemstone lighting and or landscape lighting. See what transpires in the next couple of months here. Thanks so much for joining us. That's all the time we got for today. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.